This is Mastering Mathematics with your teacher, Karen Weston.
Good evening, Antigua Barbuda, the rest of the world. Welcome again to another in the series, Mastering Mathematics. I can feel the energy coming through. Yes, you're ready and you're stuck and you're waiting for me. Of course, this is Mastering Mathematics, a program produced by the Ministry of Education in conjunction with EBU Unit, Center for Mathematics Education, and ABS Television. Today we're going to be addressing the fifth formers. And for how many weeks I've been promising, we're going to be looking at the question number 2s. Okay, on that examination paper, we know that most of the time, generally, the number 2 question is where we get stuck in with our algebra. We're not doing too much talking because we want to get you in, and I want you to go in there to pass this exam. So I'm just showing you what is involved. Okay, this question that I took from the CXC 2008 examination paper, I love it because it has exactly everything that we need to touch in terms of the algebra. The first part of the question says, find the value when A is equal to 2, B is equal to -1, C is equal to 3, and you're going to find the value of each of the following. The first one is, and I'm going to be doing the working over here, okay? I'm just reading the question so that you can see that it is A, open bracket, B plus C. That is the first expression that we want to find the value of. I want you to note something at the end that you see 1 MK in a bracket in the reds. That is the mark for each section. The first part there is worth 1 mark, so you know it's not long. You have to take for that. And each of these parts are marked. Yes, the marks is equal to 2 marks. So it's something quick we have to do and go with it. All right. Notice we would have been practicing. We would have been told what we're doing with these things, and now it is time to put ourselves to the test. So here we go. The first one is our substitution, okay? And it is this. So we had A, open bracket, and it is B plus C. And they gave me some value. What did they say? A would have been equal to 2. So where we have A, we're going to write 2. Open your bracket, and B, they said, was equal to -1. So where we have B, we're going to replace it, and it is plus C, and C, they told us, was equal to 3. And that is what that expression is now reduced to in terms of the numerical value. What do we do? So again, we see that the rule for PEMDAS gets in. So we're going to work our brackets first. We have -1 plus 3, and we ask ourselves which number is bigger, and it is the 3. So the positive number, and then we're going to be saying by how many, because this is the same thing as saying 3 minus 1. So we are going to write back our 2, and inside the bracket we're going to reduce it. And Jetta, what are we going to get for our answer inside that bracket?
Inside the bracket, it should be 2 or 2 times 2 4.
Oh, wait, I didn't ask you for the full answer. You're too smart for me, you know. Right. Okay, so I just wanted him to give me the answer for inside the bracket where we had 3 minus 1 and we got out 2. So from that is what we ended up with. And quite correctly, 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And that's the answer. And that is why CXC expects us to go very quickly, get in this, and in one line we can give them the answer 4. I am teaching you, so I am going slower than how you would be going on the examination paper. We understand? Because we want you to go in there knowing it and getting it right. So having done that first one, we're now going to get into the second part of it, which says find the value when A is equal to 2, B is equal to -1, and C is equal to 3. And here is the expression. So it is 4B squared, and it is minus 2AC, and it is over A plus B plus C. And we are going quickly because we know 4 and it is times the value of B is -1 and it is squared. Put it in a bracket and it's minus 2 times the value of A is 2 and it is times the value of C is 3 and it is over A, which is 2, and it is plus, put it in a bracket, -1 and it is plus 3. Let me step back so you can see what I'm saying. I had 4B squared, so what is the value of B? It is -1 and I must square it. And it is -2, value of A is 2, so it's 2 times 2 times the value of C is 3. And that is what we had, times 3. And it's over, so we put in our values. A was equal to 2, so it's 2 plus the value of B, -1, and then the value of C is 3. And that is what we're now working. Take your time. If your calculators can do this right away for you, you just punch it in and go, all right? It's not too many steps that CXC wants. You hear how much marks you're getting for this? 2 marks. So CXC expects you to just cut that right away and go with it, okay? And we have been doing this, that we know a negative times a negative give you a positive, a negative times a positive, negative times a positive would be a negative here. Okay, so 2 2s 4, 4 3s would give you 12, okay? And here we would have been getting 4 times a positive 1 would give you 4, and it's over, and a positive. So we have how many things here? Because this is now addition. So be careful. Notice at the top they were asking you for multiplication. Keep your eyes on the ball. Concentrate. Okay? Because at the bottom they're not asking you for multiplication. They're asking you to add. So we are collecting. Okay? How many positives do we have? There 2 sitting here and 3 sitting here. 2 plus 3 would give me 5. And then I have a -1, so 5 minus 1 would give me 4, okay? At the top then, I'm dealing with 4 minus 12. Which number is bigger? And it is the negative, and by how many? It will be a -8. So here I'm going to be ending up with -8 over a positive 4. A positive divided by a negative, the answer would be a negative, and 4 into 8 goes 2 times. So the answer is -2. All right? So I have told you that. I have rushed you. So what am I going to do? Give you a chance to slow down, go over it again, and see your substitution. That is what it is. And it's so, don't say, Lord, they didn't teach me this. This is what is now being taught in second form, okay? In terms of these substitutions. So, and it does not change. And that is why we want our teachers to take time, make certain the concepts are learned, because once it is for life. All right? We're going to send you on a break, and we'll be right back to continue with the other sections to this question. So, to go over it again, see, and make certain we understand. Notice the rules and everything, right? Because we've done the rudiments and now it is all being played out in these questions. Take your break and we'll be right back.
If you know the answer to a question is incorrect and you cannot find the mistake, start over on a clean piece of paper. Oftentimes when you try to correct a problem, you continually overlook the mistake. Starting over on a clean piece of paper will let you focus on the question, not on trying to find the error. Always read math problems completely before beginning any calculations. If you glance too quick at the problem, you may misunderstand what really needs to be done to solve the problem.
Right, so you had your break and you're coming back because you know, oh, these were the things. It's what you have learned in the classroom. CXC is now testing you on, okay? So we continue. The other parts to the question. So the first part we have done substitution. The second part now says change the statement into algebraic expressions. We have to change two statements we have. This first one, so into algebraic expressions, okay? And it says they want us to change this into an algebraic expression where they say 4 times the sum of x and 5. 4 times the sum of x and 5. This is like when we're in our primary school, so they give us the words, okay, and ask us to write the numbers for these words. So you know, you give children 125 and ask them to write the numeral for it. It's the same. Now this time we are asked to write the algebraic expression. Remember, we told you about expression and equation. Those two walk hand in hand. What is the difference? Jetty, you want to tell them?
An equation has an equal sign.
An equation has an equal sign.
And the expression shows,
yes,
just the relation between
two terms, okay? What operation is involved there, but it does. And all you just have to say, the expression has no equal sign.
Okay.
So we see it right away, the algebraic expression, because it does not have an equal sign. And the equation has an equal sign. So if they're asking you for an expression, you're writing, and it's algebraic because it's going to have letters, okay? And you see that they have given us x and y. What is involved in examining this question where we have 4 times? You understand that? So, right? So we know, because we know 4 times 1, okay, is the same thing. So it would be 4 multiplied by, all right? And what does sum means? When we ask you to find the sum of 2 things, and they were giving us x, so it has to be plus, because so it has to be plus 5, because we say, when we say the sum, we have got to add. Now I have to give you a joke about this term, the sum, okay? Because one of my colleagues took me up and nearly died with laugh, because she says I'm on the television and saying, find the sums, okay? But when we went to our primary school, right, what did you hear? What you still hear in your ears? Girl, work the sums. Mind your business and do your sums. Now, if the children know that vocabulary, it can be used in that context. We know we have words, so not because you say find the sum, it does not mean all the time it means to add. If we say do the sums, that's a colloquial way of us saying do. It's not problems we use. And I love to be like one of my friends who says, not because you're learning a new word, you won't kill another word to learn a new one. All right, so look out for that, because we still use that word. Boy, I get the sums right today, you know. Yes, that meaning is there too. But normally, when we see it in our standard English version, where they're asking you something like this to say 4 times the sum of x and 5, they're asking us for an operation. And the operation involved with sum is addition. All right, so we put them together. Look, right? And then so it is 4 times x plus 5. But you know, we write 4 open bracket x plus 5. And that's the expression they're asking you for. All right, that is it. That is it. Now, let us get down here, the part 2. It says 16 larger. Larger than what? And the word again, look at the terms that we're looking out for. So it is 16 larger than this word, the product. What does it mean when we say product? Jetta, what is the product?
multiply.
So we're multiplying. That's the operation involved. And what are we multiplying? A times B. See, look at it here. A times B. Okay? Now, if somebody says something is 16 larger, what does that mean?
I guess it's 16 times larger. Multiplied by A times B.
No, so they would have had to say 16 times, but they didn't say 16 times larger. They just said 16 larger. So what does it mean?
It's an index, I have no idea.
No, it's not the index. So this time, all we're doing here is adding. Okay? So they could have been saying 16 more than. Okay? So it's 16 larger. All right? But they would have to tell us that it is 16 times. And teachers, notice in our classrooms, if a child came up and gave you that explanation why she said it is 16 times, give the people the marks, okay? Because in my view too, you could have interpreted it to mean that it is 16 times larger. And if a child did that, give them the marks, all right? These are the things that we discuss around an examination table. Not because 16 larger can also mean to another student in another context that it is 16 times, okay? So, but here, it is, so here we would have been writing, it is AB and it is plus 16. If a child came and said 16AB, I would not hesitate to give that child a mark. Okay? But notice they were very specific when they said 4 times. So we have got, that's why we have to look at the examination paper and see the language that they are using. All right? So we make certain that we tell them that distinction, that it is 16 larger, means that we have 16 more. All right? So we would be added. And that is what we're dealing with here. So you're telling me, Miss Weston, you confused me. No, I'm not confusing you. I'm saying in your context and in your setting, you would have been saying, okay, but we would have been explaining to them that look at the language, and they have given us both, okay? So there can be no confusion when they want to say it is times in contrast to just saying larger. So your answer is here for CXC, it is AB plus 16, okay? And then that is the sort of debate we want to entertain in the mathematics classroom. Well done. Now, we're moving along, okay? We're moving along. And this time, we're now being asked to solve the equation. Solve the equation. And anytime we're asked to solve an equation, we know we're going to have a variable, and we want to find the value for it, okay? So, and 6 is just giving me a linear equation which says it is 15 and it is minus 4x and it is equal to 2 open bracket and it is 3x plus 1. 2 open bracket and it is 3x plus 1. So again, we know we're going to work out brackets first. Isn't that true? Again, so all those rules come in. So we're just writing back 15 minus 4x is equal to 2 times 3x, and it's positive, so we don't have to worry about the sign. So it's 6x, and it is plus 2 times 1, 2. Students, this is where you lose marks, because you're forgetting that outside your scalar has to be multiplied by everything inside the bracket. All right? So do not forget that. People quickly say 2 times 3 give you 6x, and they forget to say 2 times 1. You must not forget. All right? Everything in the bracket must be multiplied by the scalar outside, and the scalar means the number outside. What are we going to do after this, Jetta?
We have to put like terms on each side.
Right, we're now going to collect like terms on each side. So which side am I going to put what?
We have to put the whole number on one and those with the variables on the other.
All right, so I'm going to leave the 4 over here. Negative 4x, so I'm going to bring over the 6 to join it.
Right.
And anytime we cross an equal sign, what happened?
The sign of the number changes.
Right, it changes to the opposite sign. The opposite of addition is subtraction. So minus 6x is equal to, I'm leaving my 2 here, and I'm taking over 15, so it comes as negative 15. Is that true? All right. Now, there is one thing, students. Every time we're dealing with our variables, we always try to make them positive. Isn't that true? So we're going to say we're going to multiply each side by negative 1. So we're going to change all the signs to the opposite signs. So here I'm going to get plus 4x plus 6x and it's equal to, I'm changing the sign, so this positive 2 becomes negative 2, and this becomes plus 15. And I'm allowed to do that because what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So here now, I would be left with 10x, and it is equal to 13. And then, so I'm going to get x then would be equal to 13 upon 10, which is equal to 1.3. Okay, so my value here is that x would be equal to 1.3. Now, I know some people be asking, but I could have used another method, and that is true. Because here, you could have been saying, bring all the x's to that side, leave the positives over here. So you could have had, and it is 15 minus 2 is equal to 6x plus 4x. Okay, and you'd have been getting 13 is equal to your 10x. Now, 13 equal to 10x is the same thing as saying 10x is equal to 13. And you could have gotten your answer, x is equal to 13 upon 10, which is equal to your same 1.3. So you can use any method you want to. My friend Mrs. Thompson would have said, make certain you leave the things where you're going to be getting positive numbers, all right? But when you see that, you tell yourself the variables must always be positive. So we can be saying we're changing signs, or else do it like this. And yes, make certain your positive signs are here. Understand that this and that, they're the same thing. So then you can also do it like that, okay? And that is what we do for the linear equation. We have a last part to this question, and that part is asking us to factorize. I'm going to leave this factorization part of it for next time, because I don't want to rush it, because it's the factorization that most of us are saying we don't understand. And guess what? I'm going to be giving you the several types of factorization that you can be looking for. So aunties, uncles, and grannies, and it's because I know that in the zones, the students are now being tutored and going through a lot of mathematics tests, that I can afford to say I can give them a little rest, and I'm concentrating on my fifth formers in terms of the algebraic part of this question and to get them onto functions, because we are going to pass that maths exam. All right, so take time, go over the things. Again, do not forget to make use of these tablets, or thank the minister for these things, okay? A lovely ceremony was there last week too. And I have told the guys from Para, because they're from Sugar Apple, Twos and all those guys, Magic and everybody who served last week. I'm forgetting the names right now, but you know, right? They're lovely. That serving was fantastic. And to see that those guys came from Para, Sugar Apple, just go to that restaurant, okay? And anything they serve it, eat up, because it was fantastic. Right away, because they're calling people nicknames now, I don't even want to call. Oh, his name is Viger. Yes, I was forgetting him. Viger was there too, and they were serving. They were so professional that was very, very good. The launching last week of Hearts was fantastic too. Have to thank the minister, Eddie Mansour, the Honorable Eddie Mansour, and the whole Prime Minister and his office for what they're doing in terms of making Antigua technologically ready. And I am saying that we can compete with any first world country in terms of the technology that we have been putting in our schools, and also in the Ministry of Education. We have not been slow either. Stacey Maskell and the team up there have been doing such a fantastic job. Then here at the Mathematics Center, I have Mr. Washington Bramble, who is putting those things on YouTube and so forth. That is fantastic. And Jetta behind this camera, he just lives and dreams for these things. So it starts here, and then we go on to other things. So Antiguans and Barbudans, we are ready, because we are constructors, and we can take on any challenge and stand tall with anyone. And now we're sensitizing the whole of Antigua to the whole principle involved in mathematics, and we are putting this fear of mathematics to rest, because we know that we are mathematicians. So until we come again next week, continue to practice, and fifth formers go on and start looking at the factorization, because I'll be coming back with the past papers. This time I'm concentrating a lot on the fifth form work, because they only have 2 more months. Yes, It's already nearly the half of March, and then it's just April, and by May they're in the examination room to sit this. So I will be concentrating on our fifth formers now. So see you next time, and do continue to enjoy mastering mathematics, because we enjoy bringing it to you.
Join us next time for another in the series, Mastering Mathematics, a production of the Education Broadcasting Unit in the Ministry of Education and ABS TV.